Hey guys, it's Jamie and welcome back to another video. So today is kind of an impromptu video, like I was not planning on doing this at all, but I was looking at the books that I was kind of planning to read in May and I realized I could do the Asian readathon. The Asian readathon is a readathon hosted by Cindy from Read with Cindy, and it's basically a month-long readathon that is done to honor Asian Heritage Month. A lot of my favorite books are actually written by Asian authors, so I thought I would definitely take part, especially because there's lots that I want to read as well. There is 5 challenges. I won't be taking part in the 5th challenge, but I will explain why when I get to that. But what's really fun about it, and also I just think a really cool idea, is that for every challenge you need to read a book by an author that is different to the previous author that you read. So for example, if I read a Vietnamese author for challenge 1, I can't read a Vietnamese author for the next book, if that makes sense. Like the next challenge would have to be Japanese or Pakistani or something like that. So yeah, I just have 4 books to talk about. I will also link Cindy's announcement video down below, and I will just talk about the 4 books and challenges now. So the first challenge is to read any book by any Asian author. So I'm going to be reading Love Boat Taipei by Abigail Heng Wen. So this book is a YA contemporary about a Chinese American girl who is doing really badly at school. So her parents send her to Taiwan to study Mandarin, and she ends up at this really prestigious school with all these like rich snobby kids, but it turns out that the school that she has been sent to is actually more known for like its clubbing scene and all the stuff that, like the drinking and stuff that the teenagers get up to at the school. I'm really excited to read this. I honestly haven't heard the best things. Like I've heard it's kind of mediocre, but I love a YA contemporary. I love rich entitled children. I love like all the drama that comes with it. A lot of what people have said is that they like can't stand like the teen angst, like it gets a little bit too much for them, but I kind of live for that and I really want something I can fly through. So I'm definitely gonna be reading this one. Also, Abigail, the author, is half Indonesian and half Filipino. So we got 3 bits of representation right there. The Chinese main character and then Abigail's heritage. I'm just really excited to read this one, and the cover is just stunning. So also this is a 2020 release as well. So yeah, I'm excited. If I get round to it, I'm also thinking of reading An Artist in the Floating World by Kazuo Ishiguro, and it's about a Japanese painter who is living through World War II and how the war and like the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki has affected him and his art. This is a really short book and I love Ishiguro's writing and writing style. However, I have already chosen another book by a Japanese author for the readathon, so if I do read this one, it probably won't be counted as a challenge, but I did think that I would mention it anyway because I've been wanting to read this one for ages. The next challenge is to read a book by an Asian author who you have something in common with or you can relate to. I kind of struggled for this one, but I'm thinking of reading I Believe in a Thing Called Love by Maureen Gu, purely because I can relate to the fact that she's a woman and I'm a woman. That's literally it. This is a YA contemporary about a girl who has never had any luck when it came to like dating and boys and all that sort of stuff. So she decides to watch a whole bunch of K-dramas and then use the tips from the K-dramas to try and like seduce a guy that she likes. I think it sounds really funny. I love watching K-dramas personally. I've watched some really good ones. I have a lot on my list that I am really interested in, so I'm super excited for this. I think some of the tropes that you see in K-dramas as well are like really funny, and I think this will just be really fun as well, like her kind of embodying like the main protagonist of a K-drama. I'm just really excited to read this, and I just love a funny, fast contemporary, and that's what this is. Also, Maureen Gu is a Korean author. Also, I'm pretty sure the main character is also Korean, so there we go. Challenge number 2. The next challenge is to read a book from an Asian author or featuring an Asian main character that is different to you. So I'm going to be reading The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. The main reason I've chosen this one is because the author is Vietnamese and she also has Asperger's syndrome, and that she's completely different to me because I do not have Asperger's syndrome and I am white. I thought this one was a really good pick. Also, I absolutely love The Bride Test, which is also I think set in the same world. It's by the same author. So this book is about an American woman who has Asperger's. She's 30 and she's also never had sex. So she ends up hiring a prostitute. It ends up being this really, really hot guy who's part Swedish, part Vietnamese. She basically approaches this guy and is like, hey, I've never had sex. Can you like teach me the ways, please? And then they end up having a romance blossom from that. I'm so excited. It sounds really fun. It kind of sounds like Pretty Woman a little bit. I don't know. Love that movie. I also just love Helen Huang's writing style, and I just love her and her characters. so I'm really excited to read this one. Also Vietnamese read. I'm not sure if I said that before, but yeah. So yeah, that is challenge number 3. And the next challenge is to read a book recommended by an Asian person. So I asked Chloe from Books with Chloe, who is Australian Korean. I asked her to recommend a book, and she recommended Tomi by Junji Ito, which is actually a manga. And the reason I can't read the Ishiguro book, because Junji Ito is Japanese. I honestly don't know much about what this one is about, but I've just heard such amazing things from Chloe, of course, and I think a manga would be really good. I love Japanese horror and Japanese manga, and I'm pretty sure this book is horror, so love that for me. My friend Caitlin is actually also participating in the Asian readathon, and she is kindly letting me borrow this by dropping it off my letterbox, because unfortunately we can't see each other, which sucks because I miss her so much. But yeah, really excited to borrow this one. I'm sure she will love it as well. But apparently it's just about like a femme fatale who seduces men and then uses them to like kill people that she wants dead. Absolutely love that for her. If I don't get to this one as well, I also have a couple of volumes of Death Note that I can read as well that are also manga, but I'm really holding out for this one. And the final challenge, and the challenge I won't be taking part in, is to read the book Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ng. The reason I'm not taking part is because I have already read this book and I absolutely adore it, but I just don't have time to reread it. It is a really fast read though, so I think if you are taking part in the readathon, definitely read this book. It is written by a Chinese American author, and it just has some really great discussions about racism in America. Love that book so much, and I hope that anyone who reads it for the readathon really enjoys it. So that is everything. I'm really excited to get started on these books next month, and yeah, thank you Cindy for creating such an amazing readathon. I'm so excited. Also thank you Chloe for recommending me this book, and thank you Caitlin for letting me borrow it. Very excited about that. But yeah, again, thank you so much for watching this video, and let me know if you're also taking part in the Asian readathon. Let me know if you have any Asian book recommendations in the comments below, and I will see you in another video. Bye!